Take a look around one of the most popular websites of all time, YouTube, and you will see some commonalities for videos that seem to be getting click after click. Popular videos from different creators rack up millions of views consistently, and there is one thing that has helped to set these channels apart: their approach to and use of thumbnails that ensure viewers never miss a video. Stick around to find out the 7 best tips for creating a thumbnail that no one will miss. Before we get into the video, make sure to check out the link in the description for a free YouTube training that will reveal to you the biggest secret of making money on YouTube. Number 7. Thumbnail text. Consider that viewers scroll through hundreds or thousands of videos each day on YouTube. How can one possibly stand out among the crowd? Part of the answer lies with text. Although your video will have a title, it's up to you if you want to put the exact title in your thumbnail as well. A better way to go about things would be to use a few relevant words to create an impact as soon as the viewers see this. The thumbnail text. The purpose of your thumbnail is to create engagement as quickly as possible. This will translate into a viewer actually clicking on your video. Thus, your thumbnail and every aspect involves putting your best foot forward, and this would include something as simple as engaging text that enhances the rest of the thumbnail. For instance, if your video is about an interview, your thumbnail text can include an interesting or funny quote that was said during the exchange. Additionally, text font is also an important aspect of the thumbnail text. To ensure uniformity, if you, for instance, plan to upload a series of videos dealing with similar topics, consistent font styles should also be used so that your videos are more easily identified. Otherwise, creating cohesiveness on your channel as a whole would also be a good idea for using consistent font styles. Even if they are not all the same, at least ensure some similarities remain. What's more, bolder text will also more likely grab a viewer's attention. Number 6. Thumbnail photo. The visual effect of the photo you choose for your thumbnail will play a huge role in determining whether your video gains traction on YouTube. YouTube does allow creators to use stills from the video that they are uploading, and if you choose to do so, choose one scene that does not reveal the entirety of your video, but instead gives an interesting hint to the viewer as to what is to follow. Another option would be to use a stock photo, which can be acquired online at a cost or entirely free, something that relates to the topic that will be addressed in the video while maintaining the same interest in the viewer. The chosen thumbnail photo will help to add context to your video. For instance, if you have a travel vlog and your video is about the Caribbean, your photo might display blue sea and white sand to entice the viewer. There are many different formats that can be taken regarding your thumbnail photo, but be sure to include colorful or high contrast imagery that jumps out at the viewer and will stop anyone scrolling to click on your video and see what more you have to offer creatively. If your YouTube video is a test, then your thumbnail photo is the creative quiz you must pass that will help you gain viewership you may desire as a creator. Number 5. Contrast and design. In art, contrast is viewed as any color that makes an object stand out or strikingly different when compared to the rest. Now that you have both your text and photo ready, be sure that when you combine these two, you place them against a background that helps the text to be bolder and readable at a glance, and your photo to also be the main focus as needed. High color contrast would be any colors that are very different from each other, such as black text against a neon green background. And low contrast colors include those that are very similar, such as including a photo that highlights the color yellow against an orange background. It would be easy to note the differences depending on the types of colors you choose and customize them accordingly, but always go for maximum effect and boldness to encourage viewers to find out more about your video by clicking on it. If you'd like to take it one step further, your colors can also reflect the content or mood of your video. If your video is about traveling, calmer shades of blue may feature prominently and help to highlight the kind of content you are offering. Or in another case, if your video is perhaps taken at a certain time period, such as during the summer, pastels may also be appropriate. There are many different ways you can mix and match colors to find what is the best fit for you. However, as previously stated, your channel should retain some level of cohesiveness so that a general theme can be outlined when looking at a group of thumbnails for your channel. Number 4. Clickbait. According to Merriam-Webster, clickbait may be defined as something, such as a headline, designed to make readers want to click on a hyperlink, especially when the link leads to content of dubious value or interest. While it may be tempting to focus 100% of your energy on your thumbnail to encourage clicks, you also do not want to dupe or mislead viewers. If something is being promoted, advocated, or alluded to in your thumbnail and no part of your video relates at all to the thumbnail, despite its engaging appearance, users will be turned off as they may realize you are not being accurate in how you present information at first glance. With clickbait abounding nowadays, it is easy to get caught up in the desire to blend in with other creators doing the same, but in the long run this may not benefit you in the way you hope it might. Thus, it is important to establish trust between a creator and his or her audience, while maintaining creativity in the content they publish. Be mindful that someone clicking on a video does not mean that they might stay for that whole video, and so your thumbnail must relate at least somewhat to the content within your video. Once the viewers realize your thumbnail may have been clickbait, you as a creator cannot do much in terms of audience retention, which is also key to having your channel gain traction on YouTube. Number 3. Branded YouTube thumbnail. If, very often, you find that you have favored a particular color or text font, and can identify these over a course of more than a few videos, you are well on your way to having your very own branded YouTube thumbnail. Luckily, there is no trademark required. Instead, it simply means that you have developed your own unique style and pattern of generating engaging thumbnails that seem to work for you. As you create this pattern over time, you gain an advantage by having your content be more easily identifiable, so that even if for some reason you do not include yourself in the thumbnail, viewers will recognize your style as part of your brand and be more likely to click on your video. Not just once, but they may return if they've found your content interesting enough at the same time. Number 2. Maximize on thumbnails. YouTube is watched on all sorts of devices, basically anything that can be connected to the internet. Some prefer to scroll through videos on their phone during a long commute. Others prefer to watch on their smart TVs at home, and yet others still have the options of many other devices. Therefore, the aspect ratio, or width and height, of your thumbnail is key when it comes to creating one that no one will miss. Some recommendations on Google advise a 1280 by 720 resolution as long as the size of your image does not exceed 2 megabytes. Then uploading a high-resolution image will always work in your favor, considering that even if your thumbnail ends up being much smaller depending on display format, it will still be clear enough that will work to your advantage, as viewers would be able to recognize your high-quality content and would expect that this continues, even into the video itself. Formats can include JPG, GIF, or PNG, but as long as you ensure your image is larger in size, when this becomes scaled down, it will work to your advantage, as your thumbnail will still be able to maintain its high quality as desired. If the goal is to get people to pause on your thumbnail, then to be sure to do this to take advantage of how something as simple as a high-quality image can entice viewers to click on your videos, as they will not want to miss out on what you have to offer in your content. Before we get into number 1, don't forget to check out the link in the description for a free YouTube training that will reveal to you the biggest secret of making money on YouTube, and make sure to hit the subscribe button for more valuable content. Number 1. Thumbnail Maker. To put all tips into action, there are many different thumbnail makers available online at a fee or even free. Compiling a thumbnail in itself is not the challenge. Instead, incorporating all of our tips and tricks to create the best version of what you envision is more so the task at hand. There are many different user interfaces that outline a step-by-step guide towards completion of your thumbnail, but always have an idea of what you plan to design and how that relates to the content of your video. The viewer, after having clicked, must never feel they were being misguided by your thumbnail. It should instead act as a beacon leading the viewer to your more in-depth content that supports what was initially displayed on the thumbnail. Try to look at those dealing with similar topics and how they choose to present theirs. In this way, you can understand what has worked already versus what hasn't, and therefore you will be able to create a more engaging thumbnail that is sure to generate much more clicks. The many thumbnail makers available online help to simplify your intentions in terms of thumbnail design, and so this may also speed up the process if you have a deadline to meet, or want to establish some routine regarding creation of thumbnails in a more efficient manner. Make sure to check out the next video to learn how to promote your channel super fast. See you there.